here to the UAE.
Great to have you with us. It is 20 minutes past 3. We're going to give you the chance to win 500 dirhams to spend on Thai food. I know. Benjamin, we want to send you there for Thusat Tani. More on that just after 3:30. Right now, though, we're talking sports. Coach Robert Graham with us this afternoon, former international sprinter, rugby player, who's now here in Dubai with his training academy called Pure Sprint. Tell us a little bit about what it's all about, who it's for, and actually what the programme looks like.
All right, Pure Sprint is about developing the athlete so they can go and perform in their sport, simply put. We have a foundation of speed and strength, so these are some of the fundamentals that are needed for the majority of performing sports. So what I wanted to do when creating the program is give the children a chance to not just develop what makes them good physical athletes, but also good mental athletes as well. Some of the strongest people I've ever met, ever worked with, ever competed against are athletes. Their mentality is unbreakable. And it's that what I wanted to give to children, because well, years ago when I first came out here, I saw there was like a lot of people in the fitness industry talking about an obesity epidemic. And I thought, well, just tackling people's weight loss isn't like the only way you're going to go about it. You have to target the mind first. And I don't really like working with adults, to be fair. I like going straight for children because I believe they have unlimited potential. So let me get them before they get corrupted and give them those intrinsic values that I believe all athletes have, which is a very strong mindset.
I think for a lot of people, and I would definitely count myself in this, is there's the kind of the sporty kids and then there's the not sporty kids. Actually, to be fair, I was in the middle. I was like, played netball, played hockey, was not going to set the world on fire, stopped when I went to university. And despite having a bit of a sporty background, still would get really intimidated about going into gyms for the first time. Still now, if I go to a class, I'm like, oh, I get a bit of gym anxiety. And I feel like a lot of people in the sports world, and you saying you've been an athlete all your life, perhaps don't understand that mentality of feeling like an outsider in a sporting environment. So by getting the kids early, and you said there, not necessarily to do with, yes, you are creating the next generation of athletes, but there's also an awful lot of kids you're working with who perhaps would fall into that not so sporty group. Why is it important to work with that as well?
Because they need it. They need it. The gifted children, let's say, the ones who are just naturally better than all the other children at whatever sport they're playing, they're going to get all that confidence anyway. They've had it all their life. It compounds as they go through school. They're okay for the most part. But then it's the other set of children, and there's a larger majority of those type of children that need that assistance. They need that help. They need that additional development of confidence. Now, with Pure Sprint, we haven't historically gotten the very best athletes. I've always gotten, actually, not so good athletes. I won't say what I normally call them, but I've gone out and got the best athletes. But what I know I can do, and I've trained my coaches to do, is to see where they're strong and develop that and fix their weaknesses. Slowly but surely, they start making school teams. Then they make club teams. Now, the guys that have been with us the longest are now international athletes. So we've produced that from kids that are, I would say, below average with health issues, with postural issues. We've now taken them from not even contenders to some world beaters now.
A really interesting question come in on 4001 from Marianne saying, what do you think about teaching good winning and good losing? Talking about the importance of competitive sports and actually some of the benefits that kids can really get from it. But that's hard when your kid comes home from a swim meet or even a PE lesson where it got competitive and they are feeling down about their performance. Any advice for how parents can support that?
That's a tricky one, because you never want to see your child upset, no matter what the reason for them being upset. You never want to see it. However, if they are down from a performance or a meet or whatever the competitive environment was, you should let them feel the pain. Let them go through it and just be there to support them. The biggest thing they've got to watch is, once they reflect on it, is what is the worst that happened. If it was just defeat, well, guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. There's a new competition. That defeat doesn't matter. What can you do to improve? What can you learn from in that defeat or in that scenario that's made you upset? What can you learn from it to be better next time? And those are small wins which you can take forward.
It's the not necessarily not just today, but what next.
That's what it's all about. Even as a sportsman, sorry to cut you, even as a sportsman, it's like once you have one race, once you have one match, once you have one meet, you forget about that immediately. You're thinking, what's the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you win, that's gone. You've won it. All right, what's next? When you lose, that sits with you even more. So there's more time to reflect. There's more time to learn than in losing than there is in winning. So defeat's not always a bad thing.
A message here, and it says, no name, please, for a reason that might become obvious, saying, our son is a decent football player, but, honest hat on, even at 8 years old, it's pretty clear he's not going to be playing for his country, which is all he talks about. Would welcome advice from the coach on dealing with conversations about his hopes for his future and their career. That's hard.
Don't discourage him. If he believes he can do it, let him work at it. He'll figure it out all by himself. Let him keep playing, give him all the support you can. He'll remember the support more than what his dreams were when he was a small child. Always support them.
This gave me goosebumps. Now, I'm all for, as I said, my daughter's at a swim meet right now. Come on, Phoebe, in the butterfly. But what about injuries? Because whether it's a coach or a parent or a kid themselves really pushing themselves, the last thing we want to do is, break these kids before they even, hit their teens or hit their 20s. Mm-hmm. What are you doing at Pure Sprint in terms of safeguarding around that?
Well, injury prevention is high on my priority. When it comes to training, my outlook on training is their health. You come to training for your health. You don't come for any other reason. Number one reason is your health. So if there are any imbalances within the system, we have to address that. Now, a lot of the children that train with us, they come and they always say, Coach, this hurts, that hurts, this hurts. And I asked them, did you tell your gymnastic coach? They say no. Did you tell your football coach? No. Did you tell your rugby coach? No. What did you do? Oh, I kept on playing. So why did you come and tell me? Their response always is because you can do something about it. So
you're a therapist as well, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So the training is always going to be geared towards the children and how they can correct imbalances. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time children get injured and they carry these niggles for so long is because they play so much and they develop imbalances. Imbalances means like tightness in a particular area.
Yeah, dominance on one side.
Exactly. It kind of distorts their body in a different way. So they start to compensate from one side to the next side.
To the text line. Message here, no name, saying, I had a trial session yesterday for my not so sporty son with Coach Rob and he actually wants to go back.
What? No
Success.
way.
Sheena's saying, what locations are you doing training? So great question. Where can people find you and what do programs tend to look like? Can you walk us through the practical side, Rob?
Well, we have 3 programs. I say 3 programs. We have a foundation program, which the foundation is speed and strength. That is the pillar of all of our sports programs. All of our kids ought to, they don't all do it, but the very best do. They should go through our program of speed and strength, which is what I head coach, and we've got other coaches that take care of that as well. We take care of the physical side of the athlete, and we make them athletes so they can go into our other programs, which is pure basketball, pure tennis, pure football. So that's where we operate from. That's how we operate. And then where we operate from is we're in Damac Hills and Damac Hills 2.
That's simple.
That's simple.
And it just
go to the Instagram page at Pure Sprint and drop us a message there. And we'll contact you back and iron out all the details.
And age range, Fatih is asking. Good question.
6+, and in the team sports, we're 5+.
What then about that trial message here saying, our son wants to go back? Are you happy to do trials with kids and see if it vibes?
Always. The first time has to be a trial. I've got to see what the child is capable of, and then that will give us a better indication about how they can be coached. They don't just jump in and we start coaching them straight away because we can't give them our rhythm. It's got to fit within their rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Now, if anyone wants the details, it's on Instagram, Pure Sprint, but if you just send me the word Rob, is that easy?
Simple as.
I will send you the link. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really, really interesting. We didn't even touch on, trigger point therapies, although I'm going to be talking about my knees during the news. But really interesting to get your take on it as a coach, but also as a former professional athlete, and just how our kids' bodies and minds can really be setting themselves up for the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's an important topic. I feel it should be discussed more with more professionals. So I appreciate your time and I appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
You might get a message from me later going, she didn't get a medal and I don't know what to say to her. But yeah, I think it is a really, really interesting one. And we don't want no snowflakes. Coach
None at
Rob.
all.
Send me the word Rob. I'll send you the information for Pure Sprint. It's sports and fitness instruction, speed coach, as we heard there, tennis, basketball, football, and you can just get in touch with me on 4001. We're talking adult health next, talking menopause in the workplace, and your chance to win 500 dirhams to spend at Benjamin. Thai food galore after your latest headlines.
Your ARN News
with Etihad Airways.